Hello students, welcome to our history class. In this class, we will discuss the second part of Indus Valley Civilization. In the previous session, we have discussed the part first of Indus Valley Civilization, where we discussed that how Indus Valley Civilization was discovered, what were the major feature of Indus Valley Civilization, the important rivers which are associated with Indus Valley Civilization. We also discussed two major important sites like Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. In previous session, we have discussed that in 1921 AD, the Indus Valley Civilization was discovered by Daya Ram Sahani and the first site was Harappa. That's why this civilization is also known as the Harappan civilization. We also read that this civilization is also known as the Bronze Age, as bronze was discovered or invented by Indus Valley civilization people. So in this session, we will discuss the part 2 of Indus Valley Civilization, where we will discuss the important Lothal sites. Also, we will discuss basically what were the religious life, the economical life, and the political life of the people of Indus Valley Civilization. Clear? So let's start the session. So in today's class, the part second of Indus Valley Civilization, we will discuss the Lothal site, which is situated in Gujarat, the agriculture and trade of the Indus Valley Civilization people. Basically, what were the economical or income source of the Indus Valley Civilization? They were totally depend on agriculture, and the major crops were wheat and barley. We also discover or discuss the craft and the industries during the time of Indus Valley Civilization, as they used to trade with Mesopotamia, Afghanistan, Iraq, and Nile River civilization, as we found most of the seals which belongs to the different civilization during excavation. Clear? So we will discuss some craft and industries of the Indus Valley civilization. Next, we will deal with the religious life of the Indus Valley civilization. We will understand how was the religious life of the people of that time. They used to worship idol basically, or basically they used to or the idol worship in India was started by Indus Valley civilization. We can say as after the Indus Valley civilization, the Vedic age was started, and the people of Vedic age used to worship nature. So they used to worship the idol of the deities or different deities. Pashupati Mahadev and Maitri Devi were the major god and goddess during the time of these people. Then we will discuss some social and political factors, some economical factors, and cultural changes due after the Indus Valley civilization. So we will discuss some aftermath, consequences, and the factors which is related to this civilization. The images used in our site deck are for educational purpose only. We respect the intellectual property right of the original creator and owner of these images. If you are the owner of any of the image used in this deck and have any concern or issue, please contact us at sathee@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the images. So let's start our session with the Lothal site. So Lothal, at present, the Lothal is situated in the Gujarat near the Gulf of Khambat, which is known as Gulf of Cambay. So the Lothal was discovered in 1954 by S. Rangnath Rao, who was an archaeologist of the Archaeological Survey of India. So he was an officer at that time. So he discovered the Lothal site. So Lothal is located in the state of Gujarat, India, near the Gulf of Khambat, and the site is situated as the approximately 22.30 degree north latitude to 72.15 degree east longitude. As when we basically discover or started excavation of this specific Lothal site, then we discover the first coffin burial in this site. So if examiner asks that in which site of the Harappa the first coffin burial was discovered, so the site of and the name of the site is Lothal. Also, this Lothal site is known as the Manchester of the Indus Valley civilization, and as there was a port known as the Lothal port. There was also we discovered a dockyard. So basically, to trade with Arabian Sea, the people of Indus Valley civilization used the Lothal port. So this was the major Manchester in the perspective of trade. So what are the significance of the Lothal at that time? The Lothal is one of the most important city of the ancient Indus Valley civilization, and this site is known for its unique dockyard. As I told you, indicated advanced maritime trade and engineering skills during this civilization. Lothal also provide insight into the maritime activities and trade connection of the Harappan people. Clear? Next, what are the urban layout of the Lothal? Lothal was a well-planned city with a dockyard. We also found a port, artificial port as well as. Clear? We also found the boat which is made by terracotta as well as wood. Also, there was a warehouse. We also found some fire altars in the site of Lothal and Kalibangan in both places. Residential areas and some industrial quarters. The dockyard at Lothal is one of the earliest known in the world and reflect the maritime prowess of Harappan civilization. Clear? Okay. Next, dockyard and maritime feature of the Lothal. So the dockyard at Lothal consists of a basin with a canal and a wharf. It was connected on the nearby Sabarmati river, which facilitated trade through sea routes. So this Lothal dockyard was connected with the Sabarmati river and used to trade basically with the Persian Gulf countries as a sea route. The dockyard construction and layout suggest that it was used for berthing and repairing ship engaging in trade with other civilization. Clear? Next is artifact and finds. Archaeological have uncovered a variety of artifacts at Lothal, including some seals which are related to the Mesopotamia as well as Nile River civilization. Also discovered some potteries, some terracotta figurines, weights and tool made of copper and bronze. Also the discovery of seal with Indus script and seal depicting animal suggestion a system of administration, trade and possibly ritualistic practice similar to the other Harappan side. You can see that the seal which are found from Gujarat basically were unicorn, which is Bagsara, the tiger, the rhino, composite animals, geometric figure we also found copper unicorn. We also found basically circular composite as well as circular bison in Dholavira. Clear? Trade and economy. Lothal was a major center for trade, especially that's why maritime trade, as there were a port. The people of Indus Valley civilization used this port to trade with the other civilizations. Maritime trade connecting the Harappan civilization with regional across the Arabian Sea, including Mesopotamia, which is the part of Iraq. The discovery of raw materials such as shell, ivory, and semi-precious stones from distant regions indicate extensive trade network. Clear? So trade and economy, Lothal was a major center for trade, especially maritime trade, also connecting the Harappan civilization with region across the Arabian Sea, including Mesopotamia and Nile River civilization. Next, decline and abandonment. Basically, as I told you that we don't have, or the decline are debated as there are lots of reasons due to which, or we are not able to find the actual reason why this civilization and this particular site was declined. So like other Indus Valley civilization sites, Lothal also experienced a decline around 900 BC. The reason for the decline are debated and may include ecological factor changing in trade pattern or socio-political changes. Also, Lothal is an important archaeological site and a national monument under Archaeological Survey of India, and at presently Lothal is the UNESCO site of India. It continues to be studied by archaeological for its insight into urban planning, maritime trade, and the economical and cultural life of the Indus Valley civilization. Clear? Okay. So the current status of Indus Valley civilization, we are not discussing about the Lothal side. So the Indus Valley civilization, as I told you, is commonly referred to as the Harappan civilization. Why this civilization is known as the Harappan civilization? As The excavation was started in Harappa first. So this alternate name came from the first site of the ancient civilization to be excavated extensively, known as Harappa, which is located in present-day Pakistan. The term Harappan civilization is widely used because Harappa was initially the type site that provides significant insight into the culture, architecture, and urban planning for this. The life of the people in Indus Valley civilization, also known as the Harappan civilization, was characterized by advanced urban planning. The culture was very sophisticated and there were trade network between other civilization. So clear? Okay. Next is some economical life of the people of Indus Valley civilization. So basically the economy of the Indus Valley civilization were totally depend on the agriculture and trade. So they used to basically produce wheat, barley, pulses and cotton. So the economy was primarily agrarian, supported by fertility rivers like Indus and its tributaries. They used to cultivate wheat, barley, pulses and cotton, but the major crop were wheat and barley. So wheat and barley were the major crop of Indus Valley civilization people. But they also produced pulses and cotton. Also, the first evidence of production of cotton was found in this civilization only. Advanced irrigation system including canals and wells were used to manage water resources. Trade, the Harappan were skilled traders with extensive trade networks. They trade with region as far as Mesopotamia, Oman and possibly with Egypt. Trade goods include copper, tin, semi-precious stones. They used to trade textile, pottery and some luxury items like ivory and beds also. Clear? They basically in trade and agriculture, the major crops were wheat and barley, and the currency they did not use any metallic currency, as we did not found any type of currency. So they used barter system, means exchange of goods. Clear? Next is craft and industries of this civilization. So they were proficient in craftsmanship, producing potteries with intricate designs, as you can see. Metalworks, basically they used bronze and copper metal. They also used, basically there were some bed making factories, shell works and terracotta figneries. Industries, evidence suggests specialization industries such as bed making, shell cutting and metal work were prevalent. The standardization of weight and measurement indicate a well-organized economic system during the time of this civilization. Clear? Okay. Next is religious life of Indus Valley civilization people. They used to worship basically idols or the deities like Pashupati Mahadev and Maitri Devi. They also worship some important animals. The major animals during the time of Indus Valley civilization was bull, lion, tiger, and one-horned rhino. So the religious belief of the Harappan people are not full deciphered, but due to the undeciphered nature of their script, seals and figneries, numerous seals depicting animals, human figures such as the famous priest king and the Mohenjo-daro, and possibly deities suggest a pantheon of gods and ritualistic practice. Fire altars, we also found fire altars in Kalibangan and Lothal also. The fire altars found in some sites like Kalibangan suggest fire worship of ceremonial practice as well as ceremonial baths and water. We also found a great bath found at Mohenjo-daro. The great bath is the largest public water tank believed to have been used for ritualistic bathing or purification ceremonies. Water and its purity seem to have had significant religious and ritualistic importance, as seen in the layout of cities with advanced drainage system and wells also. Clear? The religious life, they used to worship idol worship. The major god was Pashupati Mahadev and Maitri Devi. Also, cities like Mohenjo-daro and Harappa were well planned with great streets, public building and residential quarters. Houses were made of baked bricks and had multiple rooms, offer include a courtyard or open area for domestic activities. Social structure, the society was like hierarchical with evidence suggestion differentiation is housing size and equality. So there were discrimination between rich and poor. Seals depicting individual in elaborate attire or with specific symbols suggest a stratified society with possibly elite class engaged in trade or administrative roles. Also, health and well-being. Evidence from skeleton remain indicate that Harappan had a good understanding of public health and hygiene. They had access to medical knowledge and practice as seen in the presence of medical instrument and evidence of surgery. So we found many basically skeletons, the proof of the surgery on skeletons. Burial practice, the Harappan practiced different burial methods including burial in pits and occasionally cremation. Grave goods such as potteries, jewelries, and personal ornaments suggest belief in the art, life, and ceremonial practice associated with the death, as you can see in this image. Clear? Next is the decline of the Indus Valley civilization around started at 1900 BC is a subject of considerable debate among historians and archaeologists. Several theories has been proposed, but the exact reason remain unclear and involve a combination of factors like ecological conditions and the exchange of the river system. Here are some also environmental factors which are responsible for the decline of Indus Valley civilization. The environment factor including climate change and natural disaster. So some researchers suggest that change in climate, including shift in monsoon pattern or drying of rivers such as the Ghaggar-Hakra River and Saraswati River, may have disrupted agriculture practice and lead to reduced crop fields. And this was maybe the one of the major reason of the decline of this civilization. Natural disaster, the reason is prone to seismic activities and evidence of flooding has been found at some sites. Natural disaster like flood or earthquake could have damaged infrastructure and affected the population of this civilization. Clear? So climate change is one of the environmental factor, and the second environmental factor of the decline of Indus Valley civilization is natural disaster. Next is some ecological degradation, deforestation and soil erosion, salinization, internal conflict, and there were some political fragmentation which are responsible for the decline of this civilization. So deforestation and soil erosion. Intensive agriculture practice coupled with deforestation for fuel and construction may have led to soil erosion and reduced fertility, which impact the agricultural productivity of this civilization. Salinization over irrigation may have led to the buildup of salt in the soil, rendering agricultural land unsalable over time. Internal conflict, evidence of fortification and skeleton remain with sign of violence at some sites suggest the possibility of internal conflict or warfare which could have destabilized the Indus Valley civilization. Political fragmentation, the centralized authority that characterized the early phase of civilization may have weakened over time, and this leading to the regional autonomy or competitive among different city or states. Ecological degradation, there were some economical factors which are responsible for the decline of this civilization. The change in trade routes or competition from other civilization may have disrupted the economical stability of Indus Valley civilization. The decline in long distance trade route could have impacted the wealth and resource available to urban centers. Resource depletion, exhaustion of local resources, especially metal like copper and tin, essential for bronze production, could have affected manufacturing and trade activity of this civilization. And the last is cultural change, shift in religious pattern on belief. Changes in religious or ritualistic practice could have altered social cohesion or undermined traditional authority structure. Migration of population movement. Some scholar also basically propose that population movement, whether due to environmental pressure or conflict, may have contributed to the decline as people abandoned urban center for rural areas. Decline of trade network, destruction of external trade. The decline or redirection of trade route with Mesopotamia and other regions may have reduced the flow of valuable goods and resources to the Indus Valley civilization site, which impact their economical viabilities. So these are the important factors basically which are responsible for the decline of Indus Valley civilization, although we are not sure that what were the major reason of the decline of this civilization. Clear? So we have completed the Indus Valley civilization in two parts. The first part, we have discussed the origin of the Indus Valley civilization, how Indus Valley civilization was discovered. We have basically understand the two major sites of Indus Valley civilization, including Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. In these slides, we have discussed the Lothal site of Indus Valley civilization. At present, it is situated in the Gujarat. Lothal was the major port of this civilization, as we also found a dockyard in Indus Valley civilization in the Lothal sites. Clear? We also discussed some artifacts and find some trades and economy related to the Lothal. And we also discussed decline and abandonment reason of the Lothal site. We also discussed the agricultural life of the Indus Valley civilization. They were primarily agrarian. They used to trade with Mesopotamia, Afghanistan, and Egypt. And they used barter system to trade, and the major crops were wheat and barley. Also, craft and industries were very famous during the time of this civilization. They used to worship the deities and the idol worship. Clear? So we have discussed the health and well-being and the burial practice of this civilization as well as. Also, we understand the ecological reason of the decline of this civilization. We also discuss some cultural and trade network of this civilization. So I hope you understand this session. Thank you.